What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another daily news video. And it's a spicy one because the Berardi story is getting a bit ugly at this point. I'm a bit surprised in which direction this is heading. Excuse me, because it's taking a turn. It's taking a weird turn, like an ugly turn. So we will go into that. But it's also obviously game week. But we play on Sunday, so that's extremely close now, and all these things still going on. Obviously, we'll touch on that as well, but I will do my preview after this one on the live show. So go check that out, or check out Julian's new daily video, new preview type of video that will drop on Saturday. So always a day before we actually play. Before we do that, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and let's get into it. Okay. Obviously, it's Berardi dominated because this is picking up pace really quickly up to a point where when that news first broke and it was from Alfredo Pedula, everybody was kind of dismissing it, saying, "Ah, man, it's one of those names." Because me myself, I was like, "Ah, here we go again. It's not a transfer window without being linked with Zaniolo, Berardi, Pogba, Savic, whatever." And here we are. But this is real. This is real, and it's ugly, and it's getting really ugly. The updates are that. So first, you have journalists like Mirko Di Natale saying there's no offer, and you have others saying there is an offer. I think it's in the middle. I don't think maybe it's an official offer, but 100% the club has let Sassuolo know what their limitations are. Like, we are going to pay this amount, and then maybe we will include a player. Maybe it's not officially, like Mirko Di Natale said, I can buy that, but it's so late in the window, they know what we want to pay. So I'm going to assume there is some type of offer. The situation is like this. In the morning, I woke up and it was, we are offering close to 25 and maybe Ealing Jr. on a dry loan. Obviously, Sassuolo is not going to accept that because it makes no sense for Sassuolo. They get a player for 1 year and they lose the player they need to replace. So obviously, that was kind of already a bit, weird that was out there. But the news is always, oh, we're gonna include Sule or we're gonna include Junior. But the stories also made no sense because Juve value Sule and Junior at around 70-20 each, but they're offering 25 for Junior, so you cannot include that because at that point you're basically paying 50 for Berardi, which makes no sense. And obviously, Sassuolo are valuing Sule and Junior at a ridiculous 7 million euros, which is also the piss take. So that's that. But the breaking news and the ugly one came a couple of hours ago from Di Marzio, because first you had Gazzetta dello Sport topping it off. Breaking news. It's off the table. Berardi is saying at Sassuolo is saying no. And I was like, put it out there, but I immediately texted someone and said, like, something is coming up because it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. And yeah, here we go. Like 5 minutes or 10 minutes later, Di Marzio put out the story, and it's ugly because Berardi is done with playing the nice guy. He always respected him. Sassuolo, they always said, I'm going to stay. He always said no, loyal to the club. And now Berardi said, I want to leave. You need to let me go. And he said, I'm not training with the first team. I'm training with the players a la Bonucci. The players who are not part of the squad. Where Bonucci is trying to take everybody to jail. It's also happening at Sassuolo. Nobody's in the media there. So that's also the clown show called Bonucci. But Berardi, and it's not Sassuolo who said you don't train, you don't play. It's Berardi who said, I'm going to train not with the first team. At that point, you cannot basically go along together. And that's my fear, because I'm not jumping to sign Berardi. But when the player says, I'm done, I'm going to train with the guys you're trying to sell. I'm not going away to, I think they play Atalanta on the first game. And I'm also not playing the next 2 games, which is weird because the third one is in September, but whatever. He said no. He's training separately. And at that point, it's ugly. Later, news came out that the reason is because Carnevali promised Berardi that if an offer comes in from around 20 million, you can leave. The issue is Carnevali wants more money now, and that was not agreed with the player. And now his manager and Berardi are basically saying, okay, then it's done. Like, if you don't hold your word, I'm gonna force this, and I'm not gonna train. I'm done. Now, can a club still say, screw you, you're gonna stay? Yes. But at that point, is it, worth having a player that doesn't want to be here anymore? And actually told, everybody, the world, I'm not even gonna train with you guys. I'm not gonna play the first game of the season, or the second one, or the third one. I wanna leave. At that point, it's toxic to keep such a player. And I know the stories later coming out saying we need to sell more players. We've been hearing that ever since we sold the first player. We need to sell, and we need to sell, and we need to sell, and everybody is sold. Like, there's nobody left to sell. Who are we gonna sell? Because there are no offers for the other players. So why are we in talks for Berardi at this point? If we there's no offer for Sule, there's no offer for Junior, like sales, not loans, and there's no offer for Vlahovic or Chiesa that he wants to accept, or Bremer, excuse me, name it, Nicolucci, Miretti, all loans. Then who are we trying to sell, and why is the club, I mean, jointly in talks for Berardi when he knows, hey, we need to sell, but there are no offers. So that's also a very strange type of story out there, in my opinion, as well, Kostic. But that's the situation. It's really ugly. I did not expect that, because Wednesday I was doing a live with Julian, and Alfredo Pedula just put out a statement saying, they respect each other, and it made sense, and that's why they're not forcing a move, but they want to have it done in the 48 hours. They want clarity. That's also true, because Di Marzio said Sassuolo wanted a clear offer that they can say, okay, this is going to the right direction, we're going to take it before today. And that offer did not arrive, and that's when Sassuolo basically said, no, he's staying. That's also what Pedula said. The issue is, now Berardi is saying, I'm not trading. Now, you can say Juve's offer is too low, but when a player says, no, I'm not training, I think, and I kind of need to believe Di Marzio here, that Di Marzio's right in his reporting and saying that he probably had an agreement with Carnivali that, if that type of money comes in and it's that type of club, you need to let me go. Otherwise, the player and he will not say, I'm not training, because if that never was said and Juve came in for 20, I think Berardi would be like, yeah, like, that's too low, I get it, sort it out. But the fact that he said, no, I'm done with it, kind of makes me believe that there was a gentleman's agreement, and that one, Carnevali or Sassuolo are not, agreeing with it now, and not, saying, okay, you can leave, whatever. That's the situation. I actually believe the new story out there, like, fully. So apparently we're offering like 20 million. That's what we want. That's what we want to pay. Is that a lot of money? No, but when you don't have a lot of money, yes. Then yes. Do I want Berardi? No, I'm not a big fan of his. I don't. His stats look off the chart, and you will see that if he signs, and Julian will do his coach's corner. I will do a video on him that will drop maybe Monday, Sunday. Let's see. If you compare his stats, and if you watch the live with Julian, he was trying to wind me and the chat up. His stats compared to other quote-unquote elite players or whatever, highly rated players, are off the chart. He has the same amount of goals and assists as Dybala in Serie A, for example. His stats look wow. But on the eye test, I don't like him. He's not my type of player. He's not my cup of tea, Will he play well for Allegri? I'm pretty sure he will. I'm pretty sure he will. And maybe that's the only thing that matters at this point. But my issue is with the fact that he's 29, his career up to this point, him not willing to join, wanting to compete, we potentially losing out on a midfielder that could be big time later on, compared to Berardi, who, this is Berardi, this is his ceiling, it's 29, it's done. And the fact that, you're just going to give away Sule or give away Junior, I'm not a big fan of that move. But this is real. And this is not, Sassuolo says no, I don't think it's no. Now, he might just end up staying at Sassuolo. I'm not saying that, but this is not over. It's not because the story is out there that Sassuolo says no. That story that he's not training is big time, because it's not a club decision, it's a he decision. And at that point, it's really toxic. Which we discuss on this channel so many times. Like, if a player doesn't want to be at the club, what's the point in keeping him? Because is he really focused on, the task ahead? Probably not. So let's see how that will go. It's weird because we play, but this story is, hanging above our heads. And It will not go away. It will not go away. I'm not expecting major updates, and I can jinx it this weekend because it's all football. But from Monday, it could heat up really quickly. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the previews, post-match reactions, all those things. Excuse me, coming back to the channel because we're back playing football. So yeah, that's always good. Like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and join me later for the first preview of the season. Ciao, guys.